Hello and welcome to Game 5 in a best of 5. Game 5 taking place here on Tyrannus. Stan, gonna go ahead and speed things up into the 8 times gameplay. Yes, Game 5 in a best of 5, always very interesting as we see the militia purposely aggroing and getting a lot of damage on this Ancient of War once more. Ancient of War down to 618 hit points. A Wisp will be brought over, 2 of them brought over now in order to protect that as we now see that Ancient of War starting to tank that damage. As you guys can see, Hawk has spawned as the light blue human player on the top left-hand side of Tyrannus stand. Meanwhile, on the bottom right, Rudan, who has quickly seen a 2-0 nothing completely obliterated, and now we are tied up at all at 2 games apiece. Things are gonna go amok. All right, all of a sudden the Troll Shadow Priest was that picked up by Hawk? Hawk was able to pick up the Troll Shadow Priest from the other side. That's actually a bit of a surprise there. Perhaps the Peasant was able to run in. Meanwhile, on the other side of the map, another Troll Shadow Priest has been picked up by Hawk, and now Hawk is going to really benefit from the fact that he does not have to worry about Abolish Magic in the opening segments. Abolish Magic, a very big problem against water elementals, but just not this time, not in this particular instance, as the Archmage decides not to chase that Wisp, and that Wisp will be able to get away. Warden is sitting at level 2. Hopefully, perhaps the Warden is looking to think, you know what, I have a potion of greater mana, maybe I can just rush on in and get in a whole bunch of damage on Peasants, but he accidentally walks, or she accidentally walks into the Archmage and the remaining units here. Things already not looking good for Rudan in this matchup. Taking some extra damage onto that Archmage already. Hawk is turning things around, and with those Troll Shadow Priests, any damage done is quickly going to be healed, and with that level 1 Brilliance aura, that mana will be coming back pretty quickly. Alright, Footmen making their way back. Troll Shadow Priest or Forest Troll Berserker has been picked up, as well as Militia now being called to the bottom left-hand side of the map for that expansion attempt. Water Elemental quickly placed down as we see clearing out of this creep camp. We are teching, no, we're not teching the tier 2 yet by Rudan. A bit surprised about that. Meanwhile, Warden surrounded and then being forced to use a Scroll of Town Portal already. Rudan just seems like he is not playing like he was in the first 2 games. Perhaps Hawk was just playing with one hand in the first 2 games as a little bit of a handicap, and now things are going strong the other way. Losing a Scroll of Town Portal this early in the game just to be able to continue to creep, that is not something you want to see, as the Archmage sitting at level 2 is going to now start rushing in here and causing a little bit more problem. Alright, Warden who picks up the Wand of Lightning Shield? Warden does, but now taking a lot of damage here. Shadow Strike went down somewhere, it looked like, as the Wisp are trying to repair. There's some detonation, big detonations, as the Warden gets, maybe be able to get to level 3 if things go right for him in this upcoming fight. Alright, Warden not trying to catch up there. Ancient of War still absorbing a bit of damage. The Forest Trolls and the Troll Shadow Priest still attacking the other way, as these units will get cleaned up here. Alright, we need to see more Huntresses added if Rudan hopes to really make a strong attempt to come back the other way. We are still at Tree of Life, so it looks as though we are going to stay at tier 1 and use Huntresses as the unit and put down a bit more pressure. I'm sure an additional Troll Shadow Priest would have been nice. He's probably kicking himself for not grabbing that Troll Shadow Priest earlier. We are training dual Ancients of War with dual Huntresses at this point. Gonna get up to, I believe, about 40 supply and then push as quickly as possible. However, the Guard Tower or Arcane Tower is already ready. Archmage is at level 3 with level 2 Water Elementals most likely, and that is going to take a big chunk of health off of these Huntresses. 4 Huntresses walking into an Arcane Tower, walking into triple Troll Shadow Priest and a Troll Berserker. That is a lot of piercing damage to overcome. In addition to that Arcane Tower, our Warden comes in, gets in a big fan of knives, is going to hide and now try and finish off the rest. Alright, Dust of Appearance. Arcane Tower is focusing down on that Warden. Warden should be able to get off another fan of knives, now taking down even more units. A lot of focus damage coming through. The Huntresses are trying to get out and are not able to do so. Both sides losing a whole bunch of units as the Warden gets a Shadow Strike used the Potion of Greater Mana to great effect, and is now going after the remaining units here. All right, is he going to be able to finish off? Yes, there goes another Troll Shadow Priest. Warden now trying to chase after the remaining units here as the Militia now being called down. And wow, all of a sudden, and that Potion of Greater Mana really perhaps tipping things in favor, as now the Water Elemental trying to go after an Archer, not going to be able to do all that much damage as another Troll Shadow Priest gets taken down. Ancient Protector down to 70 hit points, down to 50 hit points, and still hovering at about 15 hit points. The Water Elemental, for some reason, was not going up against it, and oh, what was that about? Why not cancel the Ancient Protector at the last possible second, as the Warden now tries to rush in again? All right, a handful of units. The Huntresses trying to turn back the other way. If they were in the front, perhaps enough bounce damage would have bounced across through those glaives, but that didn't work there. Huntresses now need to retreat a little bit more. Warden, without any mana, not going to be able to do very much as she decides to back off. Back over here to the top left, another Troll Berserker has been hired. Very important to deal with these Huntresses. Supply count is 40 over 40 compared to 33 over 48. No gold was being mined at the main base during that time. So that is an important indicator of how far or how much damage Hawk was actually absorbing. Now we can take a look into the main base. If the Warden senses that the main base is empty, which it actually is, Rudan could come back and just pretty much move into this base. There's only one guard tower, and the Huntresses here are going to be able to take it down rather quickly. Warden is making a big play over here. Let's take a look at this. There is that guard tower. There is not much here, and this is extremely obvious what's going to be happening. All right, let's focus down this one farm right here. Let's go ahead and take it down. If that farm gets taken down, things are going to go from bad to worse very quickly. Fan of Knives could really speed things up here. As we can see, all of a sudden, all the units need to come back the other way. All right, trying to constantly repair, not going to be working. Oh, there it goes. Units are now backing off here. There is an Ancient Protector now coming out as the Militia are coming out to meet and greet as the Troll Berserker now going to get taken down. All right, a lot of units coming back the other way, but the Huntresses could probably stand their ground here as yeah, there you go. There's the Fan of Knives I was expecting from the Warden much earlier, and there, all the units are now just fighting back here. A lot of low hit point units are just going to end up falling. There's a second Fan of Knives, and so much damage being eaten up by all of these lower hit point units. However, the Water Elementals are the main problem, and the level 2 Water Elementals are taking a big chunk out of these Huntresses. Without the Forest Trolls and their abolished magic, that's exactly what we're seeing here. And perhaps the biggest play was that early steal of that Forest Troll Shadow Priest to make these Water Elementals that much stronger. Now, let's take a look back around. Rudan is at 38 over 50 compared to 42 over 42. I think the window of opportunity has pretty much closed. A whole bunch of low hit point footmen. If all of these footmen had fallen, we would be at even supply, but instead, you see that Rudan is in a bit of trouble here. Are we taking the tier 2? No, this is pretty much for all the marbles. This is going to be a short game. We know that Rudan is either going to win in the next 3 minutes or lose, as the economic advantage is going to be far too much. All right, there's a bit of bounce damage already. Huntresses need to back off, but that farm not going to be falling anytime soon. Now making its way back down over here, going after the Altar of Kings. Altar of Kings could take a lot of damage. One Huntress taking peltings from that guard tower. Funny how a guard tower never misses its target, as the Huntresses are now on the move. All right, a little bit of bounce damage coming through. It looks like a couple of peasants could get taken down. Altar of Kings absorbing a whole bunch of damage, but peasants are falling as that Warden is getting higher and higher level up. Now we are looking into a little bit of a base trade instead, and the Warden, realizing that she didn't have a Scroll of Town Portal earlier, that is going to come back to haunt. You cannot trade bases when you are behind a base. Losing one base while you only have one base, that is going to be the end of that, as the Forest Troll Shadow Priests are trying to make their way to take down this guard tower. We see the Scroll of Town Portal coming back in as the Tree of Life was taken down, and that is pretty much going to be all she wrote. The Warden is in serious trouble. However, the Altar of Kings was finally taken down, so a little bit of a small victory there, but that Archmage simply has too much mana to really make Huntresses a viable option. Maybe if you had more Troll Shadow Priests in order to abolish magic, you would need about 2 Troll Shadow Priests for every level 2 Water Elemental out there on the field. and not have them heal at all. And then perhaps you would be able to do it. But I think this is going to be it. Too many guard towers. The keep is now being upgraded, and there is the GG. Hawk has completed the reverse all kill, winning 3-2 after being down 2-0. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Hope you guys enjoyed it.